Welcome to the Chinese-styled Palazzo Museum. I am a subject specialist about the Renaissance. I'm tasked by the museum director to give you a tour guide about Issac Newton, so let's get started. The Renaissance is the revival of art and literature under the influence of classical models from mainly Greek and Roman times in the 14th to 16th century. It liberated people from the traditional feudal theology and churches controlling the Middle Ages. People began to explore human values and human
nature.
Manufacturing, farming, trading, and navigation technologies have all been improved and developed during the Renaissance. The development of humanism, new trade routes to Asia and other parts of the world, new cities such as Rome and Florence, religious reform, and laid the ideological and cultural groundwork for the development of the modern
world.
In conclusion, the Renaissance shaped the modern world a lot.
Issac Newton.
Issac Newton was a famous English physicist, mathematician, and astronomer. He was born in Warwickshire, Lincolnshire, England.
Newton was born on
January
4th, 1643.
His father died before he was born and his mother remarried when he was
3.
He was raised by his uncle and grandmother. He went to the King's High School in 1654, where he lived with the apothecary, which developed his interest in science. 1661, he attended the Cambridge University. 5 years later, the university was closed to prevent the bubonic plague, and Newton was forced to
leave.
During the 2 years, he did more research on light, mass, and gravity. And in 1669, he was appointed a professor at the Trinity College. This would be the first half of his life. Between 1660s and 1670s, Issac Newton discovered that white light is a mix of color which can be separated with a prism, and showed that the multicolored spectrum produced by the first prism could be recomposed into white light by a lens and a second prism. The major significance of this is that this overturned
Aristotle and Theophrastus'
belief that pure light, such as sunlight, is fundamentally white
and colorless.
He proved that light is complex and heterogeneous instead of simple. The
heterogeneity
of light has served as a foundation of physics optics. 1672, he published this theory of experiment and named it optics. 1687, he published Philosophi and Naturalis Principia Mathematica, known as Principia. This book is considered to be one of the most important works in history of science.
It established
Newton's theory of motion
and the law of universal gravitation.
First, objects in motion tend to stay in motion, and objects at rest tend to stay at rest, unless act upon an unbalanced force. The second law is force equals to mass times acceleration, F equals to ma.
And
the third law is
that
for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.
This is easy to understand. Check out this image.
The first law of motion serves as a foundation of classical mechanics and the key to all basic concepts of physics, such as force and momentum. The second law,
with other physics concepts,
defines the relationship between the changes of motion and the external effect. The third law and the theory of universal gravitation, which is also presented in the book, together created
celestial mechanics,
providing human and accurate understanding of movement of the sun, moon, and stars
for the
first time in history. Newton used the law of gravity to explain Saturn satellite's movement, the orbit of comets, tides on Earth, and predict plus discovered Neptune. 1668, Issac Newton built the first reflecting telescope. Before Newton, refracting telescope provided magnificent but
lenses refracted different colors from different angles, creating a fuzzy image for the viewer.
Newton replaced the refracting lenses with reflecting mirrors. A large mirror would capture the image and the small mirror would bounce it into the viewer's eyes. This method produces a clearer image and allows for a much smaller telescope. Newton's simple telescope design is still used today by both backyard astronomers and NASA scientists. Reflecting telescopes allow larger objects to be seen better and are therefore ideal for studying objects in our solar system. Although there are some argument whether Newton or
Gottfried Leibniz
created calculus, Newton was recognized for inventing the binomial theorem, Newton's method, and Newton identities. These three act a very important role in the development of calculus. Calculus is not just restricted to mathematics, but it is used pretty much everywhere. It can tell us all about the motion of stars, weather patterns, electronic circuits, and the movement of sound and light, and much more. This is why Newton's calculus has changed the world so much. Newton was knighted at 1705 and died in his sleep at the age of 84 in 1727. It is game over for him.
Who the hell inspired Newton?
Newton is a true Renaissance man and was inspired by multiple different
Scientists.
It is commonly said that Newton was born in the year when Galileo died. At the time, Galileo had great influence. Newton made use to Galileo's work in inertia to conceptualize his first law of motion. Understanding Kepler's third law of planetary motion also helped Newton to develop the law of universal gravitation. Newton started his study in mathematics from René Descartes. Newton used the algebraic techniques in his work, like geometry, to solve problems in geometry. In around a year, he discovered the binomial theorem. In the era of physics, Edmund Halley helped Newton a lot. Halley came to Newton in 1684 to ask about Kepler's law of planetary motion. Newton told him that he knows the answer like 100 years ago, but he doesn't want to publish his observation and research. Halley talked to him and got him started on mathematical principles of nature philosophy. The books edited, proofread, and preface are all done by Halley. Now, well, we've reached the end of the museum, so please get out of here. Oh my god, this application is actually too good. What the freak?